people ask me, do you get tired of playing sailing and stuff? And I never get tired of it, because to me, the hits I have are sort of the stones in the river that kind of get you through the night.
It's not far down to paradise, at least it's not foaming. If the wind is right, you can sail away and find tranquility. Oh, the canvas can do miracles, just you wait and see. Believe me, it's not far to Never Never Land.
My earliest influences were probably like Ritchie Valens, Buddy Holly, Everly Brothers, records that I would have bought. But my father had played bass. He was a physician, but he had played bass in college with some local, big band of jazz groups. He'd actually done a couple gigs with Lawrence Welk when they came through town as a pickup musician. So he loved music. He did listen to a lot of, big band jazz and stuff at home. I was exposed through him to Glenn Miller and a lot of that kind of music. So when I was about 10, I asked for some drums. My parents bought me a little drum set for Christmas, so I started playing drums. As I said, I'd been influenced by, Everly Brothers, Ritchie Valens, all those type of people, and then Buddy Holly particularly. And then English Invasion came in, and of course, the Beatles, Beach Boys, really early on too. 10 or 12, I started messing around with the guitar, and then, coming up a few little songs, and then by the age of about 16, I really started I'd left the drums, started playing the guitar, rhythm guitar in a band, singing, and really started to pursue writing my own material. And it was pretty simple and nothing remarkable at the time, but I suppose some influences were there and showing themselves. But I, like anybody else, it got more mature, more progressive as time went on. I was supposed to graduate from high school and didn't. I dropped out and moved around 1970 to Austin. Moved there for 10 years. It was a really, musically eclectic place, really kinetic in terms of people that were doing stuff. Stevie Ray Vaughan was there, Eric Johnson, Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. It was a really great melting pot. I learned a lot and had made some really long friendships. Kind of, really developed my chops there. But I was also just playing in a cover band to make money for the most part. I got married at 22. I had a son. I had bills to pay, and so it just made more sense. So I just recorded my tunes at night in the studio, and then I sent demos away. And I felt confident about my songs, although, it was hard to around town, Eric Johnson's group, the Electromagnets, Stevie Ray, to watch groups like Moving Sidewalk, which was the precursor to ZZ Top, start to get recognition doing their own material, as people like Stevie Ray did, who suffered for his art and didn't make a lot of money, but was certainly a local hero in Austin as an original artist. I didn't burn myself out playing my own material to 6 people a night, and kind of kept it fresh, and really just focused on the record labels to get the deal. When my record came out, it was kind of caught everybody by surprise because no one even knew I wrote songs. We got an actual deal, and people were like, "Wow, I didn't know you wrote tunes." And then suddenly the Grammys happened. The Grammys were, kind of an out-of-body experience at the time, but, I'm not going to look that kind of gift horse in the mouth. It was My success was sort of meteoric and short-lived as far as on that scale, but, you know, there's still a lot of artists I know who are looking for that to happen. We started to headline. We were playing 20,000 seaters, only had one record out. You know, you get so wrapped up in it. You had Learjets and the money was flowing like wine, so you don't really think about it ever ending, and that's part of the problem. You spend too much money and you don't pay attention, but we were just living the high life, and you know, I was writing. I mean, I was writing and not really thinking about it, and I think there's some very quality songs on Another Page, second record. Talking to My Sleep, Words of Wisdom, I think there's some, like I Think of Laura, there's good songs. It just tended to be more of a ballad record than an eclectic record like the first album, and I think it pushed me then toward contemporary, you know, AC radio as opposed to keeping me more mainstream. My marriage of 7 years, I'd been married at 22, and unfortunately that marriage was already in bad shape, and so it sort of ended right around that time in between first and second records, so that distracted me and kind of, you know, destabilized. I moved out from Texas to LA after my divorce and kind of destabilized my personal life. I found a new love in my life who, interesting enough, named Paige, and her best friend was Laura from the song Think of Laura. Laura was killed, and so Another Page ended up being a lot of ballad songs, because of sort of professing my love to Paige and then Laura passing away. So the album was a little bit mellow probably and a little less eclectic than it could have been.
That was fun. I enjoyed it. All right. The winners are Burt Bacharach, Carol Bayer, Christopher Cross, and Peter Adams.
But I want to be sure and thank the always brilliant Michael and Martin who produced the record for us.
Yeah.
And let's not forget him. And I'd like to thank my parents. Thank you.
The other thing that sort of hurt but helped was I did Arthur in between those records, and you know, Arthur was again kind of a AC type ballad, and while it you know continued to push my fame because you know we won the Oscar, it started to push me toward AC. Then when I put out Another Page and it was pretty ballad heavy, people went, oh, that's what he is. He's a ballad singer. My third album, Every Turn of the World, I tried to make a more rock edge record, but by that time, you know, adult radio didn't really know what to do with a lot of the tracks. Rock radio, I didn't have the image for that. We sort of fell through the cracks, and that's sort of the beginning of the end at Warner's. You can see it all clearly now, but at the same time, I was never doing anything consciously to affect my rise or fall. I was just being an artist.